And a good morning to you. Welcome to our Bird Notes. What with the turkey soup and turkey sandwiches about, I thought we'd talk about not the turkey, but other birds that may end up on our tables. Before the turkey was domesticated, the red jungle fowl of Southeast Asia had become the familiar barnyard chicken, serving for meat and eggs. And ducks and geese, their fatty relatives, have long served this food. And the peacock has offered double pleasure as an ornament and as dinner. The Romans used to eat guinea fowl, and you may recall the verses from Carl Orff's Carmina Burana, where the roasted swan sings of being put on a serving plate. It's not only large birds that we eat. In The Young Duke, Disraeli exclaims, "All paradise opens, let me die eating ortolans to the sound of soft music." Ortolans are European buntings, relatives of sparrows, which, along with larks and thrushes, have been eaten on the continent for centuries. They are usually skinned, roasted, and eaten, bones and all, accompanied by an elaborate, some say ridiculous, ceremony. And from Christopher Leahy's fine book, The Birdwatcher's Companion, we find an 1882 menu from a restaurant in Boston Harbor, which was famous for its wild game entrees. Here's a partial list with an updating of some of the names. On the menu, chicken grouse, we know as prairie chickens, doe birds, the Eskimo curlew, brant birds, probably marbled godwits, sand snipes, which may have been dowitchers, rock snipes, the purple sandpiper, beetlehead, another name for the black-bellied plover, and red-breasted plover, or the knot. There was also the winter yellowlegs, probably the greater yellowlegs, and the ringneck, which was the killdeer. Brownbacks were our pectoral sandpipers. And so it goes. This was obviously before the days of environmental consciousness. The shorebirds in particular suffered a steep decline, directly attributable to market gunning. With protection, many species have recovered, others not at all. The Eskimo curlew, or doe bird, once of sky-darkening abundance, may now be extinct as a consequence of its superb flavor. Of course, many game birds are shot legally and are quite tasty. Duck, turkey, grouse, pheasant, rail, and dove. Most of those who eat wildfowl agree that the canvasback, along with the teal and the brant, if the birds have fed on the proper vegetation, are an epicure's delight. Indeed, it is gospel among hunters that how a bird tastes depends on where it lives and what it eats. Thus, most seabirds are dismissed as tasting fishy. There are certain methods of preparation suggested for strong-tasting fowl. One comes from a 1924 issue of Field and Stream magazine. By the way, the bird referred to here is actually the scoter, a seabird, and not the freshwater coot. Some hunters, especially in New England, call scoters coots. Okay, here's the recipe verbatim. The easiest way is to place the coot in a pot to boil with a good flat iron or anvil. Let it boil long and merrily. And when you can stick a fork in the flat iron or the anvil, as the case may be, then the coot will be ready to eat. If that takes too much patience, take the goodly coot and nail it firmly to a hardwood board. Put the board in the sun for about a week. At the end of that time, carefully remove the coot from the board, throw away the coot, and eat the board. That leftover turkey is now starting to sound pretty good.